Well, welcome back to Eternal Serenity Tarot. This is going to be your reading for the month of August. So, right before I was, starting to get in Virgo's energy, or I should say during, I was just thinking about how I'm so proud of us as a collective of people because doing these readings, I'm shown just how much healing, like deep healing, that we're doing as a collective, like as an entire group of people. And that's why this energy is so strong. And there's a lot of people that are coming back together with other people. We keep seeing the second chances card because there's so much self work and necessary confrontation that's being done, and it's like nobody wants to play the fool anymore, and I love that. So, with that being said, Virgo, let's get into it. All right, we have Epiphany, Sing at Dawn, aha moment, awakening, new directions, potential. Love it. It's giving aces. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of aces in your reading. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the aces comes out in reverse. I don't know which one it's gonna be, but we'll see. Treasures in the deep and dark, shadow work, healing. Oh, shadow work and healing old wounds. So this is pretty much what I was talking about before we even pulled these cards. It's the necessary healing that's happening. Like people are no longer wanting to project their bullshit onto other people. Like it's becoming enough. It actually feels like love is starting to become enough. And love doesn't just always have to be romantic. This can be love of your friends, your family, just people in general. This could be just love of love of humanity. Um, it's very like be the change you want to see. But I think it's love that's causing people to be like, you know what? I don't want my stuff that I haven't dealt with to poison to poison the space that exists between us. So this feels very two of cups. Like somebody doesn't want, I don't know if they like other people got involved, but like third parties, and third parties doesn't always have to be like a singular relationship or like this person was juggling you and another person at the same time, which they kind of come out Leo's reading. But sometimes the third party is life, it's work, it's school. Um, it is the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the fact that in our society we are always on the move. Very like we have so little time to actually be able to sit down for a minute to even form a coherent thought. And some people like it that way. But I think it's like this is catching up, so we're catching up to the fact that if you don't heal these wounds and you don't do this shadow work and you don't start confronting some of these things, it may seem like it's not biting you in the ass now, but long term, you are really doing yourself a disservice. So on the bottom of the deck, we had the alchemy of poison, transformational lessons, reclaiming personal choice, and radical forgiveness. And it was in reverse. So the alchemy of poison is being able to take all the harm that's done to you and turn it into something positive. So this is definitely transmutation that we're talking about. This is being able to find the silver lining by understanding that you don't have the power to be able to go back in time and undo any of those things, but you are currently still alive, still a breathing, functioning human being. And there's stuff that you can do present day for yourself to at least start learning how to work with this energy, how to work with your shadow. So this is shadow integration, needing to take those darker parts of yourself, which funnily enough, is it still on the bottom of the deck right now? Yeah, star in reverse. So there's a fear, I think, of your shadow. But the shadow is a really necessary part of ourselves. Nobody is perfect and nobody is like if you're watching this and you're concerned with the less than pleasurable parts of yourself that your trauma has created within you. That's not something to be ashamed of because we all have that. Anybody that has ever been through any trauma in their life, which is most people, um, it's going to impact you. And if it didn't impact you in a deep way, it wouldn't be considered trauma. This is not the kind of stuff that's healed overnight, even once you do start confronting and unpacking it, because now it's like, okay, we just unpacked all the suitcases and all the boxes. What do we do with the stuff? So that's gonna look different from for all of you. But under this card, we had the full moon eclipse. So removing internal obstacles, confronting self identity and intensity. That card makes me think that there's something that you need to let go of. And I think you need to let go of the idea that you don't get to have bad days. You don't get to be a little bit cranky. You don't get to be frustrated. You don't get to be angry. You don't get to be aggravated. You don't have to show up to life with a smile on your face. And it's okay for some of these old wounds to come up, and you have to let those feelings move through you. So you have to feel those feelings, let them out, and then observe them. Let them do their thing, and they will move on. But they need a voice and they need a place to go, because right now, part of this, like, this card makes me think that you're swallowing the poison. So this is needing to take that poison and figuring out, like, how do we take rotten apples and make them into candy apples? But it's all about perspective for this month for you guys. Understanding that stuff has happened to you, but how can you make it for you now? And I know some people don't like hearing that because they feel like you're erasing the harm that's been done, but this is not about erasing the harm that's been done. This is about not continuing to perpetuate this harm by swallowing this poison. Because the harsh truth is that people will hurt you and they will traumatize you and they go on with their lives. And some people, they don't have any sort of remorse or guilt because, again, there's so many things that they can bury themselves and distract and run and run and run. And eventually they'll have to confront it. But for the most part, like, they don't really care. So to sit there and feel like you have to hold on to any sort of anger and feeling like that's how you hold people accountable, it's not. It's not, because you're poisoning yourself and they're okay. They've moved on. They've moved past whatever they've done to you, because people are very comfortable harming people and just keeping it moving. So I feel like this is all about understanding that you can't change that, but you can choose what happens from here on out by saying, like, okay, this is what I have left over from that situation. What can I do with this? Where can I put this? How can I take this, flip it, and reverse it? And radical forgiveness. Radical forgiveness. You don't forgive people for them. You forgive people for you. And that doesn't mean, like, you forgive but you don't forget, right? It doesn't go any. How do I explain this? You won't forget, just naturally. You won't be able to forget, but it won't feel as overwhelming as it might feel right now. But there's no rush. When we say it's time to release, part of release, like, I think people think that means that you just let it go. When we say let it go, that means, when I say let it go, I should say, when I say let it go, I mean let yourself be angry and then let it pass. You don't need to stew in that anger. You don't need to sit there, but rant it out, talk it out, write it out. I think you guys would benefit greatly from doing some sort of full moon ritual. Maybe there are some letters that you could write, or just stuff that you can write on a piece of paper that you don't need anymore. Maybe these are old narratives about yourself, um, that have come from other people. Since we have the star in reverse, which can be a fear of being your whole self. So there are, like, complications that exist again, because of this trauma. It creates inner conflict. But that's a process of unraveling that. And it's a process that you'll probably be doing, if not, for the rest of your life, then most of your life. So there is no like perfectly healed and evolved person. You're going to be evolving forever and you're going to be healing forever. I just feel like you guys need to know that you don't have to hold it all together. And if when you have those days where you just want to break down, you want to cry, and you want to lay in bed and eat ice cream, like it's okay for the world to stop, your world to stop for that day, so that you can give a voice to those feelings. You can give it a minute, you know, so you can go make a hot cup of tea for those feelings, pass it to her, sit down with her, and say, "Listen, what do you have to say?" I feel like there's a fear of doing that for some of you because it's like, I don't know if you guys are avoiding, I just saw 1111, avoiding doing something about this, because sometimes when we address and we confront certain things, then we got to do something about it. It's like, if we're ignorant, then we're ignorant. Ignorance is bliss, and we're none the wiser, and nothing has to change. But if you start addressing this, I think that there's so much discomfort, necessary discomfort that'll come up that you've been avoiding. This is being complacent. So once we start addressing these things, we end that complacency, and it creates that discomfort, and that discomfort lights a fire up under you. And now we've got change. Now we've got inspired action. All right, I've talked enough. Let's get into this tarot. I told myself, I didn't even, you know what? We're going to take a minute. Just because I feel like y'all need to be slowed down. We're going to slow down for a minute. This reading is actually going slower than any of the other ones have. All right. Oh, would you look at that? We got our first ace. Damn, I keep seeing this chariot in reverse for everybody. Okay. There's a disconnect. And for a lot of you, I think this disconnect, hold on, because we might be. No! Okay, Virgo, I've solved our little issue. Yeah, let's just take a minute. Let's take some deep breaths, you guys. Let it out, okay? Let it out. Because Virgo, y'all are my doers, Y'all are my do too fucking much people. That's what y'all are. Y'all are my holding it all together because somebody has to people. But I don't know. This month you're being encouraged to fall apart. Ooh, you know what you guys need to go listen to? You guys need to go listen to The Fear Is Not Real by Willow Smith. Because I'm just thinking about when she says, don't really want to fall to pieces, but it's funny because I think I need it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys definitely need it. Definitely. Some of you guys could feel like there is an environment that it's like, if you're not having a good day, everybody else is not having a good day. Like, this energy is very reliant on your energy in order to be able to function. I'm just getting somebody like running on a hamster wheel, but they're running on a hamster wheel that's attached to a generator that's supposed to power the whole town. you know, like, imagine being expected to show up and be able to run fast enough for a long enough time to keep that going. Because what happens when you stop running on that wheel? The whole town gets shut down. Come on. Like, that's ridiculous. So I think Leo season, because Leo is the sun in tarot. It's also strength. Um, But it's the sun in tarot because it's an energy that illuminates. So it shines a bright light on the whole table, right? Like, see how the whole table is lit? This is shining a light on everything, whether you're comfortable with it or you feel like you're ready for it or not. Okay. Yeah, there's an environment that you are afraid falls apart without you in it. Well, we have this Ace of Swords. I'm curious as to what this truth that you're finding out is. Are you realizing that that's not fair to you for that to be an expectation that's on your back? Are you wondering why no one else in this environment feels responsible to step up in this way? Are you realizing that that is because you've so willingly stepped up in this way that everyone was just like, oh, well, so and so got it, so no worry, no concern. Let's see what this Three of Pentacles is. Wow. Got three cards. Are we taking them all? That's the question. Nine of Wands. Yeah, I bet. Because this is very tough work trying to be everything. Oh, would you? Oh, wow. Man, listen. What did I say Leo was? The sun and strength. Wow. Okay. So we got a connection. Oh, I didn't. I mentioned the Two of Cups before we pulled these cards too. Okay, Leo. I mean Virgo. We're tapped in. We're tapped in. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. So, all right, Virgo. Three of Pentacles is about. It's a team. It's teamwork. It's collaboration. But up right here, this is collaboration where everybody shows up and they play their part. Everybody has a role, everybody fulfills that role, everybody has duties and responsibilities that come with these roles, and everybody does what they have to do. Everybody is equally of contribution to this environment or this space. So, Two of Cups, this is either a friendship, this could be family, this could be a romantic partner, but this is something where you feel a kindred spirit to this person. And that's why it's so easy to want to collaborate, I feel like, because there's a sense of ease and there's respect. Two of Cups can also be really good chemistry, like a really deep bond between you and a person. But it's because there's a mutual understanding. Like, see how they're exchanging these cups. I love that big floating lion head coming out with all this Leo energy. So I think this doesn't actually have to be a person that's in your immediate reality, Virgo. We could just be speaking about a yearning for something like this. You could be feeling like, wow, you could be fantasizing right now, and the like big picture to all your fantasies right now is a life where you have maybe a partner, or you have a friend, or there's just somebody, maybe you guys live together and it works because this person isn't a succubus, they're not a vampire, they're independent, they're not relying on you, they're fully self-sufficient and they support you where needed, and you guys are able to support each other, but you're not having to like anchor each other, you know. This person is not looking for you to solve their problems, they're not looking for you to make their bad mood, like to take them out of a bad mood. They're able to handle themselves. Which is interesting because we had the strength card in reverse with the sun. So there's something that's gotten this thing, something has been eluding you and it's gotten kind of out of hand. And you could feel like you've created a monster in these people. Or you feel like this yearning is getting out of hand. You're like, listen, this is too much. Why do I feel like this? This kind of feels like judgment, like your soul is starting to call out now and be like, please send some help our way. Because that's the thing in this Three of Pentacles is that everybody does their part, but everybody is also comfortable helping each other because everybody otherwise does their part. Like you have no problem helping people when they aren't looking for you to come and do all of the work for them. Then it's nice because you get to be of assistance. But this feels like people that don't, they're not looking for you to assist them. They're looking for you to do everything for them. And maybe you're starting to realize this month that you can't heal these people. You might have to leave these people behind, or you have to disconnect from them in order to be able to move forward. You're going to have to leave this environment behind. And if that means that this Four of Wands flips in reverse and we get chaos and dysfunction and conflict and everybody's arguing, that just has to be the business of those people. You can't hold yourself back and keep yourself stuck trying to be the peace in this situation. It was never your responsibility. And it's not fair for people to expect that of you and think that you should live your life. Okay, this Star in reverse is out. So, what is this Ace of Swords? I'm not taking these. What is this Ace of Swords? Oh, would you look at that? The Six of Swords came out again in this deck, but it came out in reverse and then it flipped up. So you are realizing that you have to leave something behind. What did I just say? You have to leave this behind. It cannot come with you. There's just no way around it. You're realizing that if you want peace, you want sanity, you want peace of mind, you have to keep moving forward. I think we're going to clarify this further because there's something about this environment that really doesn't allow you to shine properly. And I think it's because it creates a lot of concern with the Six of Swords in reverse. You know what it is? I feel like this environment makes you feel like you're not capable of going out there and making it, for lack of a better way to say that. Like this environment has made the world look so large, so vast that you're afraid that you'll go out there and just get swallowed up. But again, this feels like a tactic that's being used to keep you stuck. Because this absolutely, there are a lot of people that benefit from you staying wherever this is. And I think you're realizing that only you don't benefit from you staying here, but everybody else does. But in the reverse, only you benefit from you leaving, but no one else does. I think you're starting to make peace with that because it means that you get to step up and be who you actually are. You're so much more than being the tape and the glue and the staples and the thing that like holds everything up and keeps everything together. Let's see what this Empress in reverse. Let's see. Let me get one more card for this Four of Wands. Virgo, I don't even think your reading is going to be that long this month. I really don't. Because I feel like this is something you're understanding yourself already. Okay, this could be a mother and father. And maybe you feel like you're the bridge between the two of them. And you question what happens if you're not there to be that bridge that connects them. Maybe you act as some kind of buffer between the two of them. You keep them out of each other's way, or yeah, they're like the go between, the mediator maybe between these people. So any kind of disputes or upset between these people, and then you come to do cleanup. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So this is definitely a month. This is a time in general to release worrying about the state of these people. Now, this Empress in reverse could be you. Maybe it's not a mother figure, but this could be something that is learned from a mother figure. What I'm about to explain. Hold on, there's flies all around. There's really one fly and being dramatic, but um, when the Empress is in reverse, she is overly concerned with everybody else's life but hers. Like she's trying to make sure that everybody else is taken care of, and her life is lacking because of it. So she's not making sure that her self care is done. She's making sure other people eat, but she's not making sure she's eating. Maybe she's making sure there's food on the table, but again, she's not making sure that it's enough for her to get some because she's just trying to make sure that everybody else is straight. It's just enough for everybody else so they're good. So that could be you guys, or it could be your mother. It could be both. Like I said, this could be something that you've learned from a mother. Because this also can be an avoidant energy where it's so easy to try and step in to help put out fires for other people, and then there's like a whole dumpster fire. This is so quintessential Virgo. There's a whole dumpster fire going on with your life that you're ignoring because you're too busy trying to help other people and trying to fix other people. But Virgo, I'm telling you, like I told Cancer, okay, there is nobody that needs you more than you need you ever, but especially not right now. So what's this Chariot in reverse? The Hermit. Oh, look at that. There's Virgo. And there's the Four of Wands again. Okay. I feel like you want to go out and build a life of your own, and you understand what harmony looks like because you're creating it in this environment, but I don't think you are really understanding what that would look like when you have a teammate to help you create this harmony. Because we saw lovers on the bottom of this deck and it was in reverse. So that's disharmony. It can be arguments, disputes, a misalignment of values. It can be poor decision making. That can also be like selfish decision making. So somebody could be in an environment with someone who makes it's like maybe that's the reason why this lovers in reverse is the lovers was in reverse, because if I had to guess which one of these people was the more selfish one out of this King of Swords in reverse, this Empress, I'm going with the King of Swords in reverse. Because the King of Swords in reverse can be somebody who's overly strategic because they're out for themselves, and the Empress in reverse is out for everyone else but herself. She's like people pleasing. So there could be someone in this dynamic who makes decisions probably without consulting this other person or consulting other people in general. And it's stuff that they feel like would benefit them. But the King of Swords is in reverse, so I feel like that backfires in their face. Because you have to question where this person's sense of logic really comes from when it's in reverse. It's like, is it really logical, or you just tell yourself that this is what makes sense? Even sitting here doing this reading, like I feel like like, Leo's reading was great. If you need to pick me up, I definitely suggest you go watch that. It felt relevant to the collective in general since we're all in Leo season right now. That felt more like the energy that's probably permeating the air, but this is like we got the Five of Cups in reverse though. So this means that we are ready this month to release disappointment. We're ready to release grief. I think we're ready to release what hasn't been. Ooh, some of y'all need to go read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Some of y'all definitely need to go read that. Spoiler. There's a caged bird and then there's a free bird. And the caged bird is singing because he's crying out for everything that isn't going to happen because he's caged, but also everything that hasn't happened in the past. But instead of getting up and flying outside of that cage and realizing like you're still alive. So as long as you're alive and you are, able bodied especially, um like there is no I don't want to say there's no excuse because this is feeling kind of tough love, but it's like it feels like for you guys, spirit is saying it's no excuse. Is no excuse because you're so capable. You think you could be this capable of holding up this entire environment by yourself and you're not capable of going out into the world and being your own person? Because I can guarantee you that as much as you're struggling, um, as much as you're struggling with holding this up, this is a lot of weight on your shoulders and a lot of pressure. Um, this is infinitely harder to do than it would be to just go out and support yourself. Like it's not going to take nearly as much energy from you because even this energy, like this reading right now, feels like it's zapping me. Like I have stuff to do. I have readings to do, but I'm ready to just kind of go climb in bed and just call it a day. So I feel like this energy, like it just leaves you feeling defeated and depleted. Like you feel like you can't have this. But I think that's being clouded by what you've been shown thus far. So in your mind, this is what connection is. Like you connect with people and they just take from you. They take advantage of you. They steal from you. They steal your energy. They look to you to be and do everything for them. But once you separate yourself, or I should say, as you are separating yourself from this environment, when you do step out there, you're going to meet people that will actually be able to show up in this way for you. But it's really important that you understand what that doesn't look like and just how much you've been lacking that so that you don't bring any more relationships into your life that mirror this back to you. We don't want to create more of this. We want to release this so that we can move forward and we can get back what we give. We can go and be around people where the energy is reciprocated, the care, the love, the support, okay, is working both ways. And no one is expecting the other person to pick up all the slack and do it quietly too and with a smile on your face. Like that's how this feels. Like this is kind of just like shut up and do it. Nobody's asking you how you feel. Nobody's asking you if you want to do this. Nobody's asking you if you want to just sacrifice your life to this. Whew, I'm getting upset for y'all. Okay. Okay, we got the Hierophant. All right, what is this Hierophant? And God, this fly is getting on my nerves. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Oh my God, there could be somebody in your environment that's just like, a buzzing fly. They just talk too much, and it's probably this King of Swords. This person likes to hear themselves speak. Okay. You got the King of Cups. Okay. Maybe this is the kind of person you fantasize about. Because we were talking about somebody who's able to be independent and they're able to feel their own feelings. So this King of Cups could be your ideal person, which is someone who is emotionally mature and isn't, I don't know why I'm hearing exploitive. That's interesting. So somebody who's not emotionally exploitive, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's how you feel about this King of Swords. This person exploits your good nature and they exploit your capacity and your capabilities. They exploit the fact that you care about them and you care about this environment. You care about all the people in this environment. They're exploiting the fact that you're not selfish. You're a very selfless person. And you want to fix things for people. But I don't think that you want to do it to this extent. So this is not like, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to help people, but this is taking it a bit far. Because this is like, these people aren't giving you the room to help out of the kindness of your heart. They're just expecting that that's what you do. All right, so the Seven of Pentacles, you could feel like you're working at something, but you're questioning where this is getting you. So if this is a job that you're at, you're wondering, like, I'm working this job, but I'm just getting you guys feeling stuck. Like there's a question of where am I taking my life? Where is this taking my life? Where is this leading? I'm putting into this, but what is this really going to do for me? What am I going to get back from this? Seven of Pentacles is planting seeds, but you guys could just be unsure of what seeds you should even be planting. That's because of this loud mouth energy. Like, oh my God, it's getting on my nerves where this damn fly is. Okay. We have a good bit of major arcana out for you guys. So this is a big deal. Nine of Cups in reverse. I don't know if there's something that you guys have now that you thought you wanted, but it's just not. Oh, okay. You guys, if this is about a job, it's like you're working at this job and it's providing you with some sort of income, but this Nine of Cups, ooh, my bad. This Nine of Cups in reverse feels like you're trying to make the most of what you have right now. And I think you're trying to make this situation not feel shitty. But one thing I know is that when you're in this, like when you're in something like this is like a band-aid that you're trying to put on the situation because you're trying to stay here and make this more livable for you. And Spirit is like, this is not supposed to be more livable for you because this is a place you're meant to leave. And if we were to allow you to get more comfortable here, you'd never leave. So that's what this feels like. But I also feel like there's a lack of fulfillment. Like you're not getting what you want out of life and you're not planting the seeds that you need to be planting because of all this fear. This fear of being seen as imperfect, this fear of being judged. Oh, look at that. Eight of Swords. More fear. So Eight of Swords is about how we keep ourselves stuck. Ultimately, the Eight of Swords can be other people, their thoughts, their voices, their projections. It could be a voice in particular. This person, if I had to guess. And I don't want to let up on this energy because this is also a very complacent energy. Like if this is a mother figure, this person's sticking around in this environment and worried about everything and everybody else because she don't want to think about this this person and being stuck with and attached to them. So she's just trying to worry about whatever else that she can so she doesn't have to fix that situation in her life. And honestly, that is why I think it's very necessary for you, Virgo, to get out of this because there's confrontation that both of these people need to do and you need to be out of the way of it. So this feels like a tower and this tower needs to fall. And you're the thing that's stopping this tower from falling and everybody being as uncomfortable as they need to be because this is actually a very uncomfortable situation. And I'm just seeing you being like, I don't know, this is like fairy-ish, like you come in and you just flit about the space and you just make everything better. It's like a diversion. You're creating like distractions, but no, because you think you're helping, but you're not. It's time for these people to have to sit in their own shit They need to smell it and they need to be like, oh, what is that? So that they get up and start moving stuff around so they can figure out where that smell is coming from. Because of some stuff that needs to be thrown out. Okay, let's see what else. Look at that Six of Wands flying out the deck. That's where your victory is at. Your victory is in leaving the situation. Six of Swords, Six of Wands. You are overcoming this, but you're also overcoming this. You know, the Empress, you're supposed to be creating for yourself. You are right now trying to make better like a situation that somebody else has created. This is somebody else's creation. Now it's time for you to divest from this situation and go create something that fits you. Heavy energy in the collective right now of people creating their own beliefs, you know, and separating themselves from these family systems that have really strict standards for how they are required to show up. And in your case, you're keeping these people from confronting each other, confronting themselves. I feel like you need to take some time to yourself, Virgo, to really figure out what it is that you want, because that's the only way for this chariot to be able to move forward. That's the only way for you to get in your car and ride off into the sunset. So that you can have this, because this is actual harmony. I feel like what we're looking at here, this is fake disharmony. I mean, fake harmony. This is harmony again that only exists because you have a harmonious person in the environment. This feels very Libran, this energy that we're getting. Um, the peacemaker, the diplomat. This is needing to go off and create your own space that's harmonious for you, because this is heavy and it's really not your responsibility. I just can't stress that enough, because I really feel like you've taken this on as your responsibility and it's not. But these people have let you, and that's the part that's like fucked up. They're letting you, and they will continue to do so just so that it means they don't have to do what they need to do, which is be forced to sit with and look at each other. Look, I just feel like you leave this environment and it just, that absence is going to be felt. And I'm not saying that because I want you to keep yourself stuck. I want you to do the opposite. But this is an inevitable thing that has to happen. Because how long do you really think that you could sustain doing all of this? And it's also like, how long are you willing to hold yourself and your life back and keep yourself on pause? Because the thing about that is, time will pass, you'll get to a certain age, and you're going to be bitter and resentful, and you're going to be angry. And the only person that you're really going to be angry at, for real, more than these people, is yourself. Because you made these choices, and so you're not even going to have like the blame to place on these people, because at the end of the day, you stuck around and chose to do this, and that's going to be a really tough pill to swallow. And I think this month we are trying to avoid you having to swallow that pill. Like, Virgo, do not make yourself go through that, because you don't have to. What did I have? Oh, the Knight of Cups came out in reverse. um that can be fear of putting yourself out there. This Knight of Cups can be, when it's in reverse like this, someone who's insecure. Again, we got this insecure energy coming through. It's like you have a lot of love to give, but you're keeping it to yourself because you're like, oh, but who's really gonna take it from me, you know? And I don't, interesting how that came out like that. I was gonna say who's gonna want it from me, but I think you're holding this cup so tight to your chest for fear of someone just stealing it all from you. So there is definitely an acknowledgement of the fact that this has been happening to you in some capacity so far. Um, we had focus on the brilliance, focused attention, prioritizing, persevering. So this feels like the need to prioritize yourself. Your attention right now, for some of you, it doesn't need to be on worrying about like when and how you're going to leave this environment. Right now is actually a time to figure out what you want. So maybe you're like, if I were to move or if I were to leave, I don't even know where I would go. You don't need to know where you would go to manifest leaving. You just need to be able to envision yourself someplace else and put yourself in your body when you're out of this environment and you're in a new environment. How do you think that you would feel? How do you want to feel? What do you want even your space to look like? Maybe you would move cities, but you don't know what city you're moving to. Like spirits, like don't worry about that. When the time comes, they will put in front of you the directions for wherever it is that you should be relocating. But for right now, the focus is just on how you want to feel when you leave. What do you want that to look like? What do you want your life to look like? This is just a need to figure out what does Virgo want out of life. And there's no rush to put anything into action. You just need to take some time to sit with this. On the bottom of the deck, we had this and that are true. Open-mindedness, perspective, nuance, and complexity. And was it in reverse? No, it was upright. I was going to say it was in reverse. It was not. Okay, so it was upright. So multiple things can be true at one time. You can love these people and they can also be draining the life out of you. And it can be, this can be a situation where you feel sorry for the people involved because of the fact that they've gotten themselves here, and that's valid. But that still doesn't make it your responsibility to stick around and try and make this better for them. Under that card, we have love and partnership, collaboration, intimacy, power dynamics, and that's kind of what we started this reading talking about. This collaboration and intimacy. Oh, I feel like this star card in reverse is a fear of intimacy. I feel like I just saw 309 on my timer, but I feel like you guys have a fear. What you think is a fear of intimacy is actually a fear of enmeshment. I want you guys to go look up what enmeshment is, but I think you have a fear of losing yourself, being with someone and losing your identity and the lines being blurred between where they start and you end. It's like what is even the difference between me and this person? Are we separate people? And that could be due to the codependency of this environment. But the only way for that to happen is if you didn't address that this is what's happening to you right now. So if you weren't aware that where you are right now is really not fit for you, and that this is what is happening to you currently, and it may not be so much that you're losing your identity in these people, but you're losing your identity in this role that you stepped into. So while there is this fear of getting with a person and becoming enmeshed, I don't really think that that's something you need to worry about, because I don't think that I think there's more of a fear of that happening than it is actually likely for you to willingly opt into that situation. But you would have been setting that kind of trap for yourself had you continued here and not understood the enmeshment that's happening right now. Then you would think it's normal, but I don't even feel like you guys are thinking that this is normal anymore. So I don't see you going out and doing that with another person. And you really don't have to worry about doing that with another person now because you guys are very like closed off right now. There could even just be a fear of recreating this dynamic between these people. If these are your parents, this is a fear of being your parents. But there also has to be a lot of acknowledgement of the fact that you're not these people. And that's okay to say. See, this is that this and that are true. You can love these people, but still recognize that you have a firmer grasp of on life than these people do. And that's okay to say. It doesn't like it's not a talking down on them, it's just the facts. You are more capable of going out and taking care of yourself than these people are currently taking care of themselves if you leave. And they'll be able to take care of themselves just fine. But they're just going to have to be uncomfortable. And that's a part of this whole thing is that the people that need to be uncomfortable and they need to lay in the mess that they've made. They made the bed and now they have to lay in it. And this is like you trying to come and dress the bed up and change the sheets and make it better. It's like, no, 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 no. It's not your job. It's giving savior. These people are letting you play savior. Look, another card about authenticity. The masks we wear. I've seen this card a lot. Self-expression, protection, authentic self. It's not that you're being inauthentic. It's just that this is only a part of yourself. Maybe you guys need to watch Cancer's reading. This is only a part of who you are. You are a lot more than just playing the supporting role in other people's lives. It's like it's time for you guys to step into some Leo energy and go be main character. What is this? The emergence of true knowing, intuition, rigorous honesty, inventory. It's time to take stock of what's true and what's not. And it's some harsh truths I think that you have to understand about the people in this environment. But you are so much better for it, Virgo. So much better for acknowledging this. The emergence of true knowing is that Ace of Swords that we saw. Man, if this card hasn't come out, like everybody's reading, oh my god. The river dances to the sea, flow state, trusting in the adventure. So it's time to go with the flow. But you got to figure out what you even want your flow to look like and what flow is comfortable for you, what's not comfortable for you. Like there's just so much that you need to unlock about yourself, Virgo. It's time to get to know yourself. Also been seeing this card a lot in reverse. Y'all are not listening. Listening to the ancestors in reverse. This is inherited patterns, traditions, integrated wisdom versus knowledge. So for you guys, I feel like this is about breaking a generational curse, generational trauma in your family where this is what motherhood looks like. It looks like giving your life away. It's settling. That's what this is giving. There's a lot of settling that goes on in this family tree. Look at the bottom. Zenith at the peak. Victory, achievement, tangible abundance. This is what's waiting for you, Virgo. But you have to figure out what victory looks like to you. Look at that Six of Wands too. Like you have to figure out what victory looks like for you. You have to figure out what true fulfillment looks like for you. And I think You're going to figure that out somewhat on your own, and then spirit is just going to throw a person in to help pull you along in this journey. And I think you'll end up finding out so much about yourself. You'll be like, wow, I didn't even know that I wanted this thing. I didn't even know I liked that. Yeah, because you didn't know, but it was happening subconsciously. And so it sent out a signal, and spirit said, okay. Because this is for your growth, Virgo. This is for your growth. In this next season, it's time for you to get selfish. Death proclaim the life. Very death card energy. Letting go, the sacred quality of death, natural endings, and grief. So there is naturally grief that will come from separating yourself from this. But this also feels like that caged bird energy that I was talking about before with that Five of Cups, where we were letting go of the grief of what hasn't been because we're remembering that we can still be that caged bird. Not caged bird, the free bird. We can still go be the free bird. Like, we don't have to stay in the cage. We can leave. We can go forth and be free. We don't have to stay stuck. Even if we've been stuck this entire time, we're still breathing. So we get to move forward. Moving away from this environment is a natural ending. It was always meant to go that way. It was just a natural part of life. This was a stop for you. It's given you what it's had to give you so far, and there isn't any more left to gain here. That card we already talked about is out. I knew it would be. I only got two more. Frozen for a time. What did I say? When you start figuring this out, it's not time for you to make any moves. It's not time for you, I don't think, to move forward just yet. This feels like this is about moving forward mentally first, because you're putting yourself in alignment with what it is that you want, and you want to move forward. So we got to be more forward thinking, and then them feet can start moving. So this is non-action, slow down, not yet. So this feels very Hangman. Like, this is a time, no distractions, because this is a time to really get serious about you. And look at that, all the time in the world. No rush, Virgo. Having enough time, time management. There will be enough time for you to do this. Again, there is no rush. It's not time for you to take any forward steps yet. You will know. But in the meantime, it's just time to meet yourself. I feel like you guys have to meet yourself, or you have to re-meet yourself. Now you're older, you're an adult, so it's time to meet adult you and figure out what it is that adult you wants and needs, so that you can provide that for yourself, but also so that you can know what it is that you even want from another person, because you do want another person. You do want company, Virgo. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. On the bottom of the deck, this is a great card to end with. Emergence of protection, boundaries, self-preservation, trusting in protection. You have to be able to protect yourself and your own energy by setting boundaries. So this looks like being like, hey, I can't do that for you right now. And let me tell y'all, like, resting is doing something. So if somebody asks you, like, hey, are you busy? Are you doing something? And you're resting, the answer is yes, you are busy. You are busy resting. That is important. It's time for you to just sit down. So that's all. I hope you guys remember that. That is part of the boundaries. Like, no, I can't do that right now. I'm sorry. No, I cannot clean that up for you. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to be doing this thing for myself. I'm actually buying this for myself. I'm actually taking myself to this place. I'm not going to be able to do that. Because you're allowed that, Virgo. Like, I think you're forgetting that your time is also your own. Your time is not to be filled with, like, how much can I do for everybody else in this span of time? No, no. It's time to throw that out the window, Virgo. All right, under that card, this is the last card I'm gonna do, you guys. Under that card, in the midst of the radiant fire in reverse. So we have inspiration, passion, obsession, and cleansing fire in reverse. Because there's just so much that you haven't tapped into in yourself yet, Virgo. Funnily enough, this like red energy is the only color that's not out here right now. So this is that passion, that creativity that you haven't accessed yet, but it's in there. It's in there. There's just, it's time for you. Like it's your time now, Virgo. And there's nothing and no one that needs your attention more right now. Some of you guys just need to play. Like there's so much you find out about yourself in playing. Maybe you need to buy some paint and don't even try to be a perfectionist. Just buy some paint and just paint. Do something that isn't for the consumption of other people. Like it's not going to be shared with other people. You don't have to post it. You don't have to, nobody else has to know about it. This is just for you, Virgo. This is just an exercise for you to really just see what comes out. So when you go to paint, what colors are you drawn to? I wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of blues because I feel like a heavy like mental energy, and I feel like you guys are used to using your brains to figure out how to move forward and get you through, and now spirit is calling you to get out of that head, get into your body, and feel your way through this with this flow state card that we had. So Virgo, this is where we part ways. That's all I have for you for the month of August. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this a like, a subscribe. Make sure you turn on my post notifications so you know next time I post for you guys. Bye, Virgo.